You might have heard that the Speed Fukukitaru is a really strong card or is mandatory to have for the making track scenario, and you are confused about rolling the upcoming banner on the 29th. This video will help you to come into a decision for that. But first, let's talk about why this card is actually so good for the making track scenario. If you didn't know anything about Make a New Track, it is a scenario where you will be constantly racing and there is various item to use that will boost your career runs. This card provides you with plus 30 all stats for free at the start of the career. And with this, it will dramatically improve your winning chances of the early races in the career, where your stats are still low. Aside from that, this card only have average training effects compared to other speed cards like Kitasan Black, for example. It doesn't have any specialty priority as well on the kit. This card is actually just a PAL card disguised as a speed card. It has a bit of failure rate and energy discount when you train with this card, but it is not as much like Tazuna or Rico. One more thing regarding this card, Fukukitaru is also kind of a gambling high roll card. This card can be a hit or miss because of the event chains. If you see the first up to the third event chain, it can give you plus 7 all stats on every event chain, totaling to about 21 all stats, which is crazy if you think about it. Or you could just end it all on the first event chain, giving you only 4 with stats. Alright, now that we know the effects and why this card is so good for making drag scenario, let's talk about when this card is actually usable in terms of limit break. This card is only usable starting from 3LB, and of course it's best if you have it at MLB. The reasoning behind this is because the race bonus of this card is locked behind 3LB, giving you 5% race bonus, and at MLB, it gives you 10% race bonus. In Make a New Track, you want at least 50% race bonus in the deck for the full bonus effect in the scenario. This card is pretty much like the scenario card for Make a New Track. If you are a sweaty tryhard for CMs, then you will want to have this card in your deck. The next question will be, why roll for a card that will be dead after 4 months, or the duration of making track scenario? This is a good question. Ultimately, this is up to you as a player, and if you have the excess resource or money, and you want to try hard the game during the making new track period. Scenario cards are pretty much essential if you want to be very competitive in the game. If you are not competitive and you just want to roll for your favorite Umas, then you can do that too as well. For example, I've been playing the JP version of Uma Musume for a while, and if you also have played the DYI scenario or Design Your Island scenario, it requires your scenario card, which is Tucker, to be at least 3 LB to be able to play the scenario. Otherwise, you simply cannot play the scenario because you get -1 building slot, which is essential for the scenario. So your borrow slot becomes locked in always to Tucker if yours is not at 3 LB. You might think now, wait, why don't I just simply borrow Fukukitaru for the whole man duration then? You can simply just do this. However, this is only viable to stronger players that have strong access to other support cards to be able to free their support slot. Well, I mean the whole purpose of you rolling for Fukukitaru is just to free up your borrow slot, which is the exact same specific thing as our current Unity Cup. Having MLB R Rico or SSR Rico just frees up your borrow slot so you can borrow other stronger cards like Super Creek, Fine Motion, Nice Nature, etc. One more thing. Is Fukukitaru actually dead after making a track scenario? It is actually still usable on the scenario after, which is Grand Life. But it is not the best in slot card. Grand Life deck format is 2 speed, 1 with 1 light hello, which is the scenario card for the scenario as well, and you have basically 2 free slots in the deck. Fukukitaru will just fill the purpose of the free slot in the deck because there are better speed cards in the game like Agnes Tachyon, Kitasan, and Summer Maruzensky, for example. It's the same thing as forcing MLB SSR Rico into the make a new track scenario. Is she the best in slot for make a new track? No. But is she usable just fine to fill the deck slot if you do not have any better SSR card? Yes, sure. I would say if you plan to roll for Fukukitaru, just assume that you are only be using her for the duration of making new track where she will be the most effective. The last question would be, is it worth justifying to drop a spark or maybe even two spark just to get it to 3LB or MLB? Well, only you can answer this yourself. I personally am too broke to roll for this banner, and I have good SSR cards like MLB Kita-san and Super Creek, so I will probably get by the scenario just fine because I can borrow the Fukukitaru card. So I will be skipping the banner. There is also one more strategy besides Fukukitaru in Make a New Track scenario, which is a banner release in the Make a New Track scenario, the group support card Throne. There's this strategy created by the JP player, which I will link in the description below, but what technically Throne does is you can pair this card with Team Series card which you get for free, and you basically have a brain dead flowchart scenario for Make a New Track. It makes the scenario very consistent and there is no variance on the career runs. You follow the same exact pattern every single run, and it will give you a decent outcome of the UMA. The thing is, Throne is also needed to be very high LB, which is MLB as well. And this is for the race bonus. So unless you're a Giga Whale, you will not have this card at a very high LP. And that means this card will also be your perma borrow in your deck slot if you are a free-to-play player like me. Fukukitaru Banner also comes with the Admire Vega power card, and I also want to discuss a little bit about this card if it helps you on deciding whether to pull on this banner or not. Admire Vega card is a pretty good card for the Encloser. It has the Daring Attack Gold skill for the Encloser, and is specifically an Encloser card. The only issue is that this card needs 3 LB upwards as well to work on the Make an Interact scenario, because again, the race bonus is just simply locked behind 3 LB and upwards. This card is just a nice to have card if you get at 3LB. Otherwise, I don't think it will be used in the make unit track scenario. At the end of the day, Fukukitaru card is still not on the level of Kita-san Black, where it will ruin your account if you do not have that speed card. The only meta card that will come in the near future about this level is El Condor Pasa Speed card, where it will stay relevant for a pretty long time. If you are going into make a new track with the mindset that you will always sacrifice a power slot for either this card or throne, I think you will get by this scenario just fine. We also have tons of very good free support cards that they have given for the making track scenario, like the Reason Marvelous Sunday Power card, Yukino Bijin Guts card, and Haru Urara card from the Friendship Shop. And if you have Kita-san and some good other set of SR cards as well, you should be able to get by the scenario just fine. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.